Ever hear a woman say something that just didn't sit right, but you brushed it off? Ever wonder if that one little comment was actually a massive red flag? What if the words she's using aren't harmless at all, but a preview of the chaos she's about to bring into your life? Welcome to Time-Tested Advice, where modern men learn wisdom and truths. Welcome to Time-Tested Advice. I'm your host, Jennifer. If you're new here, make sure to stick around, because today's topic might just save you from wasting time, energy, and emotional peace. I'm not talking about minor disagreements or simple personality clashes. I'm talking about red flags so massive they could block out the sun. Signs that scream, "Get out now, before it's too late." Too many men brush them off thinking, maybe she didn't mean it that way. Or worse, I can fix her. No. When a woman says these things, it's never random. It's a glimpse into how she thinks, how she views relationships, and most importantly, how she sees you. Modern dating is a minefield, and the biggest mistake you can make is giving your time, effort, and heart to a woman who doesn't truly respect you. You don't want to look back and realize you spent months, or even years, with someone who was never right for you. That's why this video matters. I'm going to break down 5 phrases, just 5 that if they ever come out of a woman's mouth, should make you seriously reconsider your involvement with her. Because here's the truth. A woman's words reveal her mindset, and her mindset determines how she'll treat you. If she says these things, she's showing you who she really is, and your job is to pay attention. Now, before we dive in, let me make one thing clear. This isn't about bashing women. This is about protecting yourself as a man. Too many guys stick around in toxic relationships because they don't recognize the signs early enough. That stops today. So if you want to avoid unnecessary stress, heartbreak, and wasted time, keep watching. I'm about to give you the blueprint to spotting the women you need to walk away from before it's too late. Let's get into it. 1. We don't need to define this, fellas. If a woman tells you we don't need to define this, she's sending you a loud and clear message. You're an option, not a priority. And if you stick around, you're setting yourself up for confusion, frustration, and wasted time. Let's be real. When a woman is truly interested in you, she wants clarity. She wants to know where things are going. If she's avoiding labels, it's because she wants the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility of one. That means she can do whatever she wants, see whoever she wants, and still have you around as a backup plan. Now, some guys hear this and think, maybe she's just taking things slow. Nope. There's a difference between pacing a relationship and keeping it undefined forever. If months have gone by and she still dodges the "what are we" conversation, she's not confused. She's keeping her options open. And here's where it gets dangerous. The longer you stay, the more emotionally invested you become. Meanwhile, she's living stress-free, knowing she can leave whenever she wants. No strings attached. And when she finally moves on, you're left wondering what went wrong, while she's already on to the next guy. Think about this. Would you ever apply for a job where the boss says, "Let's not define your role, just show up and work"? Of course not. You'd want to know your position, your benefits, and your future in the company. Relationships work the same way. So what you should do if a woman tells you she doesn't want to define things? Walk away. Or at least take a big step back. Make it clear that you're looking for something real, not a situation where she controls all the rules. If she truly values you, she'll make things official. If not, she was never serious in the first place. And here's something to remember. A woman who really likes you will never risk losing you to another woman. If she's okay with keeping things casual indefinitely, it's because she doesn't see you as the one. So don't settle for confusion. If she's dodging commitment, let her go and find someone who actually wants to build something with you. Simple. 2. Take me as I am. When a woman says, "Take me as I am," it might sound like confidence, but in reality, it's often just an excuse to avoid accountability. What she's really saying is, I don't need to improve and you just have to deal with it. This phrase is a warning sign because it shows she's not interested in growth, compromise, or making the relationship better. It's all about her. Every healthy relationship requires both people to evolve. No one is perfect, and that's okay. But refusing to acknowledge flaws and work on them is a major red flag. Imagine you're in a relationship where every time you bring up a concern, she dismisses it with, "That's just how I am." Where does that leave you? It leaves you frustrated, unheard, and forced to accept things that may not be okay. Let's put it into perspective. Imagine you're always on time for dates, but she constantly shows up late. Sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. You finally bring it up, explaining that it makes you feel disrespected, instead of acknowledging the issue. She says, "That's just how I am. I'm always late. You should just accept it." Right there, she's telling you that your feelings don't matter. Instead of making an effort to be better, she's expecting you to just put up with behavior that bothers you. Now, what happens when this mindset applies to bigger issues? Maybe she has a bad temper and lashes out over small things. Maybe she refuses to communicate when there's a problem. If she's unwilling to grow in a relationship, where does that leave you? You'll always be the one adjusting, always bending to fit her world while she refuses to do the same for you. That's not a relationship. That's emotional selfishness. A strong woman doesn't say, "Take me as I am." A strong woman says, "I'm not perfect, but I'll work on myself, just like you will." That's the kind of partner you want. Someone who understands that love is a two-way street. If you hear a woman say, "Take me as I am," pay attention to how she says it. If she's using it to avoid taking responsibility for bad behavior, that's a problem. No one should be expected to tolerate disrespect, lack of effort, or unwillingness to grow. If she refuses to meet you halfway, the best thing you can do is walk away. There are women out there who will value you and put in effort. Don't waste your time on someone who won't. Before we keep going, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, go ahead and like and subscribe, because this is the kind of real talk most people won't say out loud, but you absolutely need to hear. And while you're at it, drop a comment below, share your thoughts, or just say hello. I'd really appreciate it. 3. You're lucky to have me. At first, it might sound like confidence, but if you really pay attention, it's often a sign of entitlement. When a woman says this, what she's really implying is that she's the prize, and you should feel grateful just to be in her presence. But let's get one thing straight. A healthy relationship is built on mutual appreciation, not one person feeling superior to the other. Now, of course, confidence is attractive. You want a woman who knows her worth, just like you should know yours. But there's a difference between knowing your value and using it to belittle your partner. If a woman constantly reminds you that you're lucky to have her but never shows gratitude for you, it's a problem. A strong relationship isn't about one person feeling like the catch, while the other feels like they have to constantly prove their worth. That's not love. That's imbalance. Think about how this plays out over time. If she truly believes that you're the lucky one, what happens when there's an argument? What happens when you have needs, concerns, or expectations? Chances are she'll dismiss them because in her mind, she's already doing you a favor by being with you. She won't feel the need to compromise because why would she? After all, she thinks she's the one in control. This mindset can also create a dangerous dynamic where you feel like you have to constantly earn her approval. Maybe you start going out of your way to impress her, apologizing even when you're not wrong, or putting her happiness before your own, just to keep her satisfied. And guess what? It will never be enough. If she sees herself as the prize and you as the lucky one, she will always expect more while giving less. A great woman doesn't need to tell you that you're lucky to have her. She shows you through her actions. She appreciates what you bring to the table, just like you appreciate her. She values the effort you put in and makes sure she's doing the same. That's the kind of dynamic that leads to a strong, lasting connection. If a woman keeps reminding you that you're lucky to have her, take a step back and ask yourself, does she make you feel valued or just replaceable? A relationship should be built on mutual respect, effort, and appreciation, Not one person thinking they're above the other. If that's not what you're getting, don't be afraid to walk away. 4. All my exes were toxic. Now let me break this one down for you. When a woman says, all my exes were toxic, that should immediately make you pause. Sure, 1 or 2 bad relationships can happen. We've all made mistakes in love. But if every single ex she talks about is labeled as toxic, you've got to start wondering, is it really them? Or is it her? Here's the truth. If she's had multiple relationships and every guy was crazy, manipulative, abusive, or just couldn't handle her, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And if she never takes even a little bit of accountability, never says, I played a part in it too, you're dealing with someone who refuses to look in the mirror. Ask yourself this. How does she describe her past? Does she ever take ownership? Does she reflect on what she learned? Or is it just one long blame game? Because if she constantly paints herself as the victim, guess what? When things go south with you, and they will, she'll do the exact same thing. And here's where it gets worse. A woman who says all her exes were toxic is usually still emotionally tied to those situations. She might still be bitter, angry, or holding on to drama from the past. You think you're starting fresh, but you're really stepping into the middle of emotional chaos you had nothing to do with. Let's also be real. If she dated 5 different guys and every one of them was the problem, what's the common denominator? It's her. Maybe she's choosing toxic guys because deep down she craves chaos. Or maybe she's the one creating the toxicity. Either way, it's not your job to fix that. What you want is a woman who can reflect, who can say, I've made mistakes and I've grown from them. That's maturity. That's emotional intelligence. But if she's just blaming everyone else, you're next on the list, whether you deserve it or not. So when she tells you all my exes were toxic, don't just nod your head and feel bad for her. Ask yourself what that really says about her choices, her mindset, and how she handles conflict. If she's still living in the past, she's not ready for your future. 5. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This one right here, it's probably one of the most overused and misused quotes in modern dating. And fellas, don't fall for it. When a woman says this, she's not talking about going through a tough time, grieving a loss, or navigating real-life struggles. She's usually talking about justifying her bad behavior, snapping at you, disrespecting you, playing games, acting jealous, or being emotionally immature, and then trying to guilt trip you into accepting it. Let me make something crystal clear. Being in a relationship means supporting each other through highs and lows. That's real. But there's a difference between low moments and low character. If her worst is her treating you like crap and expecting you to just eat it, that's not a woman worth your time. Think about it. Would you ever say to her, hey, I might be disrespectful, cold, unfaithful, and irrational, but if you can't handle that, you don't deserve me when I'm nice? Of course not, because that's ridiculous. And yet, that's exactly what she's telling you. Just in a more romantic-sounding way, here's what that phrase often really means. I don't plan on changing. I want you to accept my worst behavior without complaint. And if you do, she'll push the boundaries even further. You see, respect in a relationship should be a constant, not something that disappears when emotions run high. You shouldn't have to suffer through someone's worst just to earn the privilege of their best. Because guess what? Their best isn't that special if it only shows up when everything is perfect. A healthy relationship is about both people striving to be their best selves most of the time, not using their flaws as an excuse to mistreat the other person. So if she hits you with the handle me at my worst line, pay attention. Does her worst mean being human and having emotions? Or does it mean lashing out, disrespecting you, and refusing to grow? If it's the second one, that's not someone who's ready for a real relationship. That's someone who wants a doormat. Let's bring this all together. Modern dating isn't easy. There's a lot of noise, a lot of games, and a lot of people pretending to be something they're not. But if you listen closely, I mean really listen, people always tell on themselves. These 5 phrases, they're not harmless. They're windows into how a woman views relationships, how she sees you, and what kind of future you're signing up for. If she says she doesn't want to define things, she's not serious. If she tells you to take her as she is, she's not willing to grow. If she acts like you're lucky to have her, she doesn't respect your value. If all her exes were toxic, she doesn't take accountability. And if she says you have to handle her at her worst, she's probably not giving you her best. Don't ignore these signs. Don't rationalize them away. Don't convince yourself that things will change. Most of the time, they won't. Your time, your peace of mind, your energy, they are valuable. And the woman who deserves them will never make you question your worth. So stay sharp. Set boundaries. Pay attention to the words she uses, because behind every phrase is a mindset. And once you see it clearly, you'll know exactly what to do. Thanks for watching. If you got value from this video, drop a like, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments on which phrase stood out to you the most. Or if there's another red flag you think guys should watch out for, or just say hello in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay focused, stay strong, and protect your peace.